Hello, welcome to the Health In Show, an affiliate program of Homeopathy World Community. You've come to the right place to tune in and participate with your comments and questions. Love is the greatest healer of all, but sometimes, in order to change our emotions, we must take action in other spheres of our lives. We speak with experts in alternative and complementary health fields and hope you will benefit in some small or great way. Remember, you are wherever your thoughts are. Make sure your thoughts are where you want to be.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is the Health In Show. My name is Marilyn Shannon. I'm here in the studio with Amnon, and we're so excited to have another Health In Show this month. And just remember, during the show, you are more than welcome to connect with us in Skype at Computers 2K Voice. You'll come in on voice. If you have a question or a comment, you can also join us in our chat, and we have several people in there waiting to communicate and watch the show and ask questions and connect. So please feel free to join in anytime you like. We have a special guest today, and I'm going to turn it over to Kavitha, and she's going to welcome our guest to our stage. Good morning, Kavitha.
Hi, Marilyn. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to HWC Health In Show. And all our health in shows are dedicated to Debbie Burke, founder of Homeopathy World Community. And first, as always, I thank Amnon for helping HWC Health In Shows. And all our health in shows are for educational purpose, and they are not intended to provide self-treatment for any serious conditions. And psychological conditions are most common in United States. They are 1:5 ratio, and they could range from simple to complex disorders like anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, behavior disorders, OCD, eating disorders, etc. And we all can address all these disturbances through alternative medicine homeopathy, which is safe, non-toxic, and natural application of homeopathic remedies as per homeopathic principle and tailored to the patient's or client needs. Homeopathy treats patients as a whole and not just the disease. Today, May 14, 2014, 2019, May 14, 2019, and our health issue topic is homeopathy for psychological conditions. Our honorable guest would be well known and well experienced Dr. Jawahar Shah. I know everyone knows him, but for those who do not know him, Dr. Jawahar Shah lives and works in Mumbai and has a busy practice since last 36 years. He is specialized in treating cases of bronchial asthma, allergies, autism, pain relief in cancer cases. He has delivered more than 500 seminars across 22 countries. He gave Homeopathic World the largest homeopathic database and decision support system, HomePath, that is installed in 138 countries. He has authored 2 books, Cross-Reference of Rubrics of Mind and Homeopathic Management of Bronchial Asthma Patients. He has received several achievement awards for excellence in homeopathy. He is MD of Enlightenment Education, field of homeopathy education since more than 10 years. It has more than 2,000 hours of homeopathic educational video recorded material. He is the founder and creator of world's largest homeopathic treatment portal, welcomeq.com, and has incorporated more than 100 expert doctors and thousands of satisfied clients worldwide. Let us welcome Dr. Shah to our show.
Good morning.
Dr. Shah?
No, Okay, we'll get Dr. Shaw back. We can't hear him. Could you send him a message?
Yeah, I think unmute. In chat message, shall I send? Unmute Dr. Shah.
Can you hear me
There
now?
he is. Yay. Yes, we hear you now.
Yeah, so can we have the slides on?
Well, Dr.
Okay.
Shaw, why don't you tell everybody in your own words what you're going to be sharing today?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. See, as Kavita said very rightly, we are 4 generations, 5 generations into homeopathy, and we are committed to homeopathy in and out. Today, I am going to share some of the interesting cases and how you will be able to understand different psychological disorders. And whatever questions you have, please feel free to ask.
That's wonderful. And if anybody has a question in the chat, I'll be sure to let you know. Okay, so you want to start with slide number 1, and Amnan's
Yeah,
going to
we
bring
can
it up.
start with the human body.
Dr. Shah, do you see the slides in the Hangout?
No, I can't see.
Wait a second. Do you see Marilyn now?
Yeah, I can see Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn.
Okay, and what do you see there now?
Yeah, now I can see myself.
Okay, that is that is the slide.
Yeah, so can we go to the slide number 11?
You are also sending us something, and that's not going to work out. You should not be sending a PowerPoint.
I'm not sending anything.
Okay. Well, you are, because I see the picture that you are sending. This is what you're
Need the
sending.
PowerPoint from here.
Okay, so you want slide 11?
Yeah,
Okay. There is slide 11. Okay.
yeah. So now, so that's about me, and then we go to the next slide. The human body. See, human body is one of the most wonderful gift that God has given. And what we can create is amazing things. If you understand human body, we will be able to manage the system very easily. Just 1 second, there is some issue. Okay. So the greatest machine ever created by God is human body, and it's ultimate masterpiece. The all physiology, chemistry, research, everything is available in this human body. May it be physics, may it be chemistry, may it be the genetic things. How human body has got a heart. It's a machine which keeps on beating 24 hours, and it beats millions of times. Even it doesn't stop for 1 second. And just imagine 2 half cells from man and woman gets united to create the world's most complex machine from just one single cell. The beauty is that from the same cell, you can create a skull, you can create bones, you can create brain, the eyes, the spongy lungs, and digestive system, kidneys, filtering system, and a reproductive system which produces the same thing. Can somebody keep on changing the slide? Because then you'll be able to enjoy. Now, how does this human system remain healthy? It is by immune system. Immune system restores the balance to normality. You know how every minute 19 cancer cells are produced and they get destroyed. This is the system which a human system has been created. You know, we are always proud of the beautiful megapixel cameras we have. In reality, the eye has got 576 megapixel. Is it not amazing? And
Yeah,
in our body,
you can't hear.
we have more bacteria and than the total population of the world. Now, in this situation, the correct diet, correct exercise, and the correct medicine can boost the immune system. So, homeopathy is based on laws and principles, and it gives you relief
Can I
irrespective of your
can I
beliefs.
interrupt 1 second, Dr. Shah? Dr.
Yeah.
Deepak, can you please mute? And Amnon, Dr. Shah wants to press enter so that whatever he's talking, that slides will go. Thank you.
I have no idea which one. I mean, he needs to tell me the
Yeah,
numbers.
just press enter, Amnon. So his talk is continually goes with the slides. So that's what he's. If you press enter, and if then whatever he's talking will come. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you keep on entering.
Yeah, but I
he
don't know at what point to do it. I'm not paying attention to the slides. I have other things to do here. I can't look at the slide to listen
Yeah.
to him and look at the slides. The slides is about 4 feet away from me.
Okay.
So
Dr. Shah, go ahead.
he can just say next slide, next
Yeah.
Yeah,
slide.
I can say next slide, but then it will be next, next, next. That is 19 cancer cells. Yeah, next, next. That was the total population. Yeah. And next slide. Okay. So we were talking about the benefits of homeopathy, and the homeopathy increases the immunity. Basically, it does not treat the expressions, it treats the cause. And once the cause is removed, the expressions disappear. Next. So a lot of questions are being asked. You know, how does homeopathy works? So there is one Japanese author who did a beautiful experiment. He said even the water can carry the memory. So he put in two different vials of water. They were picked up from the same source. And one particular vase, he said, "You are idiot, you are stupid, you are useless." And the other set of vase, he says, "You are beautiful, we love you." And what happened was something amazing. Next slide. The crystalline effect changed in water. And they did the photography technique. Next slide. And you see the positive thoughts produced a beautiful. Go back. You've gone next 2 times. One slide back. Yeah. So the crystalline, which was there, you can just imagine the positive word, the symmetry, the beautiful which was created. you would like to have a pendant of this kind of crystals, and you see the negative word. Oh, terrible. Next slide. So what are the benefits of homeopathy? Next slide. It is safe, it is side effect free, and it is easy to administer. Next slide. What is the strength of homeopathy? There are 3,500 medicines, and we have to find one right medicine. And all medicines have been proved on human beings, which is the beautiful thing. And there are 10 million permutations and combinations, and it can make a lot of difference in the treatment. Next slide. So we are going to talk about different psychological disorders, and there are next slide. There are neurological disorder, bipolar related disorder, trauma and stressor related disorders, dissociative disorders, somatic symptoms. Next slide, please. Feeding and eating disorder, sleep and wake disorder, disruptive impulse control disorder, substance-related or addictive disorders, neurocognitive disorders, and personality disorder. So we'll be taking one by one. Next slide. And we will be talking about different issues. Okay. Now, neurodevelopmental disorder. It includes intellectual disability, like calculation problems, and global developmental disorder. Now here I would like to share a beautiful case, a case of mental retardation came. We've been running child guidance clinic since last 35 years. And amazingly, the results which it produces is unbelievable. So patient came with a slow walking, slow learning, slow teething, and slow talking. The child was 3 years and he started getting few teeth. He just barely could walk, and he had hardly any communication, but he was very destructive, very angry, very violent. Any toy you give, he would break. Now there was a developmental delay with destructive tendency. Now in this case, we gave calcarea floor. We changed the complete response. So these are the things which are possible with right homeopathic medicine. Okay. Then we have a lot of cases of ADHD and autism spectrum disorder. Next slide, please. So we'll be talking about a case of a child who is 3 years old. This patient was brought to me, was not able to speak. He was hardly able to speak. Next slide, please. He was hardly able to speak few words. He was 2 years and 8 months. Eye contacts were poor. Okay. Anything he wanted, he would just point out with the finger. Stays at the rotating object. Childish behavior. Understanding, he used to take a lot of time. But very curious child. Repetitive and hyperactive. So these were the symptoms which we considered. Next slide, please. Next. So these are behavioral issues. Next. Socialization, doesn't mix with people. Communication very poor. Next slide. Past history, bombs. Family history of asthma and hypertension. Next. Birth weight was 3.5 kg. Speech was very delayed, walking delayed, but teething was nearly normal. Next. The symptoms which we consider was childish behavior, wants attention, concentration span poor, less, attached too much to mother. Next. We worked out the case. Next. And you can see the remedy which gets expressed. The remedy is Baraita. So this particular case received Baraita. Gradually, he improved. Next slide. Next. 30C medicine was prescribed based on totality of symptom. Next slide. Within a short time, he started improving. Speech was better. Makes attempt to frame the sentences. Behavior better. Next slide, please. And you can see the improvement continues. Socializing, repetitive behavior better, eye contact better, concentration better. Child goes to normal school and performs all the activities. Next slide. So this particular child completely recovered, and the change was so strong. Today, the child has won an award in mathematics. Now, this is the shift.
That
Now,
was amazing.
Disorder.
That was amazing, Dr. Shah. That about the child. Do you want to take any question if anyone wants to have just one right now, one question?
Sure, would love to.
Marilyn and
Yes.
Deepak or anyone, if you have any chat questions, sir, please go ahead.
Well, I find this very interesting, and Amnon said, "Why are you listening like that?" Because it's so interesting to me. I have my ear right up against the monitor, so I don't miss anything. The one thing that comes to mind, and this is not exactly what you're talking about, but I'm curious: how do regular people know about the work you're doing, Dr. Shaw? It's so fascinating and so important. How do they know about it?
Yeah. See, basically today the social media is very active, and we have posted nearly about 300 different testimonials, cases, and people get interested and they come to us.
So I guess my big question is, knowing the condition, knowing that it's autism or knowing that it's
Yeah.
ADHD, does that help you start with a remedy and then go from there?
Yes, exactly. It opens out a new group of remedies, and ultimately we are able to help them very easily.
Dr. Deepak, would you like to have a question or
I think I am muted from.
there is a
Hello.
disturbance? There is a disturbance from your end, Deepak. If you want to have a question, please go ahead.
Please continue, Dr. Kavita. I think we want to listen Dr. Shah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please can you mute Deepak? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. We go to the second aspect, which is known as bipolar and its related disorder. And most important today is depression. They say that by 2025, more number of people will die because of depression and suicide than diabetes or cancer or heart attack. Today we get patients who are just 11 years old. They feel that we are not interested in living. The beauty about homeopathy is that I'll share one of the case. A lady came with severe depression. She could not even communicate. The husband came with her. She expressed that, right from childhood, her emotions have been suppressed. And what we found out in the history, she had a lot of oscillations of mood, very, very changeable mood. And this changeable was a characteristic opening point for me to decide and prescribe. Now, this Mrs. Mehta was so much under depression that she had no desire to live. We treated her with a constitutional medicine, Natrum muriaticum, that is the common salt. That is the beauty of homeopathy. We gave her 200, then 1 m and 10 m. After about 8 to 10 months of treatment, she became so strong that the husband would get scared of her. So there was a shift from depression to her normal behavior. So this is what homeopathy does. Can we change the slide? Then we have anxiety disorder. Today, people don't want to even, very smallest of the smallest thing give them anxiety, like a closed room, closed bathroom. There are a lot of patients who take bath with open bathroom. I have a friend whose wife climbs 9th story because she's scared of the lift. Now here I would share a beautiful case of Mr. Harry. He was a leading exporter and he had to travel all over world. Now he would get so much anxious that so many times after checking in, after sitting in the flight, he has got down halfway. And this was very terrible because he was an exporter. He had to travel. He had to take the flights. Sometimes he would travel from California to New York by bus. It was so much of anxiety. We took the history and we found out that he was very, very miser. And he was attached to many, many things. Even a small piece of pencil, he would prefer to preserve. If you see his house, he had stored 6 refrigerators, which were so many years old. His godown was full with rubbish. Now, this shows a very characteristic nature of that person, who would like to collect and collect and collect. And that is Kali bichromicum. We gave this patient Kali bichromicum, 30 potency, then 200 potency, and 1 m potency. His anxiety completely disappeared. And today he's able to travel any part of the world in flight. So there are different categories like general anxiety disorder, agoraphobia, social anxiety, spatial fears, panic, and separation anxiety disorder. Now, this separation anxiety disorder is seen in lovers and in children. We can help this in a big way. Next slide, please. Now, we have trauma or stress-related disorder. So acute stress disorder, that is in relation to exams or a relationship or a breakup, or it could be adjustment disorders. Okay. Now, adjustment disorder is predominantly seen and which is leading to divorce. Post-traumatic stress disorder, that is, there was a lady, not lady, a young girl who saw a very bad accident. Since then, she developed asthmatic response and she would wheeze. She went to all the different respiratory specialists, lung specialists. Nothing, no relief. They could not diagnose wise. We took the history and we found out that that accident produced this response. So shock, following that trauma, we gave ignatia. Only few doses of ignatia, she completely recovered. Okay. So these are all cases which can take you to the next level. And when you get this success, you help the patient better. Then we have dissociative. Next slide, please. Dissociative disorders. These are different: dissociative amnesia, dissociative identity disorder, depersonalization, or derealization disorder. This causes a lot of anxiety in the relatives, in the friends, and in the people who are close to. Next slide, please. Somatic symptom. Now here I would like to share a beautiful case, a case of a ship owner. He came to me with urinary infection. He had been to so many nephrologists, so many physicians, and that was a big problem. He had been to so many homeopaths. When we took the history, we found something very interesting. Okay. And next slide, please. What happened that one fine morning, the ship sank and the insurance had expired 1 week before this event. The ship was completely loaded with all the goods. And being a very conscientious man, he sold off his property. He sold off his house, sold off his business, and repaid for this loss. He was completely bankrupt. Now, this was the cause which led into urinary infection, the somatization of the grief. So we took this as a silent grief. Next slide, please. So this was a major problem. But even though he was poor now, if somebody asked for money, he would go and borrow it from somebody and help that person. Now, this is the generosity. So we took the second rubric as generosity, benevolent. Okay, next slide. He had been suffering from this involuntary urination while coughing and sneezing with a lot of burning while urination. There were many more symptoms. So we see the next slide. Ailments from long-lasting grief, intensely sympathetic, involuntary urine while coughing and sneezing. Next slide. And we work out the case. And here we get a beautiful remedy, posticum. Posticum is so generous that if you ask for a watch, they will remove and give it immediately. They have no money, but still they will give it, borrow it from somebody else. So we gave causticum. Next slide, please. And see the remedies which come very close. The causticum and netramure. We can differentiate these remedies. Here you can see intensely sympathetic, but in netramure, aggravated by consolation. Next slide, please. Patient was given causticum 201 dose. And trust me, only 1 dose of causticum. Rest was placebo, and the patient completely recovered. So 1 dose, minimum repetition. Friends, this is the effect of homeopathy. Next slide. From the day till today, patient has not suffered from any infection, even after a number of years. Next slide. Now, feeding and disorder, feeding and eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and rumination disorder, pica, binge eating disorder. So these are different kind of eating related disorder. Here I'll share you a very beautiful case. There was a model and actress. She was so beautiful that she won Miss India award, and she won many, many international pageants. And if you see her, the grace, she was absolutely graceful. Now she would vomit and vomit and vomit. Being an actress and a model, she was invited for many, many parties. So she would go eat, and she was so conscious of herself. She would put finger and vomit it out. And this was everyday affair, a major issue. Friends, understand this. The symptom which we considered, that she was very beautiful. She used to treat everybody as useless, with arrogance, with pride, with haughtiness. She was very much sexually excited. Even a touch would excite her sexually. And what was very, very important thing, which we found out during the history, that she had a relationship with males at a very young age, but she was also attracted towards female. So she had bisexual relationship with the male and also with female, and with arrogance. And platina is the only remedy which is love of her own sex. Now, this was beautifully covered by the remedy, and we gave platina. Few doses were given, which helped the patient, to recover completely from all the different problems. Okay.
Dr. Shah, really, we are all enjoying all the interesting cases. Amazing. It's so nice. We are motionless and like so much involved into what you're saying. Marilyn, do we have any questions which we wanted to give to Dr. Shah?
No, there is somebody on the chat, however, and I don't know if you know who they are by this initial DWIP, but they wanted to just say good evening to you and best regards. But no, but that's a good comment, Kavitha. If anybody has a question, please feel free to call in at 919-518-9773, or you can come in on Skype, voice, not a video, voice, and that would come right into the studio at computers. That's plural, then the number 2K voice. And also we have quite a few people in our chat, and you can still come in there. There's plenty of time. Come in there, put your name, nickname, whatever you like under the video, and you can comment, ask questions, and we are monitoring it. And we'd love to have people in the chat ask questions. So if you have some, and there's so much information here, certainly this is sparking a question or curiosity within you, because I am doing everything I can to keep my mouth shut. So please feel free to call in or chat with us and ask the questions.
Madeline, how many visitors we have?
Well, in the chat, we have like 20 maybe in the chat.
Yeah.
So
online,
lots of people
okay.
interested. So we want, yes. And certainly you can continue this conversation, after the show on our Facebook page and so forth. You can comment. Oh, online, you mean? 45, almost 4,600.
Oh, that's great. So can we go to the next slide? Now today, one of the major disease.
Let me okay, when you finish with this, I do have a question. Go ahead.
Go ahead now.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. So Ursula wants to know, is there a book that you recommend for studying the psychological mind rubrics?
There is one which is written by Dr. Farooq Master. He has done the rubrics of mind, and we had jointly done a beautiful book on cross references of mind rubrics. So these are the two books which can be of help.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, thanks. So today the biggest problem is sleep. I remember as a child, we used to sleep by 7:38, and 5 o'clock we would get up. Today, most of us sleep by 11:30, 12, 1, and our getting up time has remained same. So it is a big problem. And the recovery or the healing happens only when you are sleeping. And there are a few tips which I would like to give. That suppose if you take passiflora, mother tincture, it can help you. Like in a lot of cases, we have helped them with passiflora, and the patient feels better, which is very, very important. The second thing is coffea. Coffea is also supposed to give you sleeplessness, but in potentized form, it can help you to sleep. Okay. Next slide, please. Disruptive impulse control and conduct disorder. So these are different kinds of disorders because they are not able to face the conflict within. They cannot understand the authority. They don't follow the laws. They are the people who are always ready to harm oneself or others. So these are the emotional problems and require a lot of regulation, and all the destructive remedies come very close, like calcarea floor, tarantula, lachesis. They are ready to destroy the property like anything. There's a lot of physical aggression. And at this stage, we have to think of all syphilitic remedies like fluoric acid, calcarea floor. Okay. Next slide. Kleptomania. One of the major issues today, that there are compulsive people who cannot resist from stealing something. We had a very interesting case where an actress, wherever she goes, she will steal fork, spoon, menu. She had the largest collection of menus in the whole country. And she had largest collection of forks, spoon from different restaurants. When we took the case, we found out she was a habitual, compulsive liar. And this fitted exactly into Veratrum case. We gave Veratrum 200, then we gave 1M. We had to give up to 10M. And after that, that kleptomania went away and she recovered completely from this habit. Next slide, please. Here I would like to share a beautiful case, a case of a girl who would come to the hall, next slide, and change the clothes in front of guests. She would say, close your eyes. She would undress, and in presence of everybody, this was a very characteristic. Can anybody think of any remedy? Next slide. She never liked to take enough responsibility. She would just brush away from all the responsibility. Next slide. She got married, she got pregnant, but as soon as the baby was delivered, she gave it away to her sister. See the amount of irresponsible behavior. Next. Now, this particular patient was given Moschus 1M. I'll give you some more symptom, which was very characteristic. She completed her doctorate and she started running abortion center, which is very characteristic. She would just do illegal abortions. And that is Moschus. Moschus always wants to do against the society. Most of the people who you see, they are on drugs. They like to go to bar, dance bar, striptease. These are all Moschus. We have helped many, many patients with this remedy where they don't want to take society's norm as a part of life. They are rebellious nature. Okay, so they don't follow the norms. And Moschus is one of the most important remedy. They define all the social norms. So they will drink, they'll go to bar, they will smoke, and at the age of 15, 16, they leave the house. They have sexual relationship with multiple people. They have no inhibition, and that is Moschus. Next slide, please. Addictive disorder. Very, very important. Today, the substance abuse has become one of the biggest problems in some of the countries. Leading celebrities, film people are all on drugs. Very difficult to, but when you give the right constitutional medicine, it helps them to completely recover. We have quite a few cases who were dependent on cocaine or on cannabis because it's easily available. And in some of these cases, if you want and if you are not able to find the right remedy, you can think of giving opium or cannabis indica or cannabis sativa. It works beautifully. It removes the side effects. And one of the remedy is Natswamika, which removes the side effects and keeps the patient available to you for more interrogation. one remedy which I want to share is very interesting, is ayahuasca. Ayahuasca has been used by native people like in Mexico or in different, like Brazil, that is being used since many years as one of the substance. And in potentized form, it becomes one of the most important, it treats and removes all your inhibitions. So it works as a psychotherapy. It can help you. If the patient is not telling the symptoms, give one dose of ayahuasca 30. The patient will open out the complete history in the next meeting. Also, it is very, very important where you are not able to find the right medicine. If you are not able to find the right medicine, if there is a maze of symptoms, if the case is very confusing, patient is not giving the correct history, give ayahuasca. It's like opening prescription. It opens the patient out. Complete details will be available to you. In few sittings, you'll get the right remedy.
Dr. Shah, it's
Yes.
so nice and amazing, and we will bring you back again. We have just 4 to 5 minutes, and I'm so sorry. We have a lot to do with all the slides, but we'll definitely bring you back, and everyone is enjoying. I'm not seeing the chat, but Madeline is getting all the updates, and so anything which you wanted to say, wrap in few minutes.
No, I think if there are any questions, I'll be very happy to answer.
Okay, if
Dr.
anybody,
Shah,
go ahead.
sir, you, as usual, you again beautifully explain how homeopathy works and how the significance of the symptom in the homeopathy. And really nice to listen again. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Do we have time for 4-5 minutes?
Not really, but listen, there is a question on the chat that's somebody
Yes,
wants to
can
know how you
can we go to the
spell.
question?
How do you spell the last remedy that you just gave? The one that opens everybody up.
Aya, Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca.
Okay, ayahuasca.
It's a plant alkaloid, which is a mixture of two plants mixed together. And this is being used in a big way in, these villages. And they give it to people, they play music. And during that music, there is absolute no light. You're away from the nature, away from the society, and you really open out. And when you open out, the same effect is seen in a potentized form. It's a wonderful remedy. I've tried in all the potency, 30, 200, 1M, and it relieves a lot of cases with anxiety, schizophrenia, and the sleep disorder.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, Dr. Shah, we learned a couple of new remedies, and this one, ayahuasca, is the one which I did not know, and many of us, and we are fascinated with that remedy. And thank you so much for your knowledge and wisdom. It's amazing, and everyone have enjoyed. And just I will announce we'll bring you back again, and I just wanted to announce the upcoming shows. On June 11th, we have Health in Show with Dr. Gabriel Drupp, and she will be speaking on homeopathy for women's health conditions. And on June 17th, it is not the Health in Show, but you can tune into Homeopathy World Community. For any upcoming shows, I'll be talking to the NASH webinar about Homeopathy World Community. So stay tuned to Homeopathy World Community and more health in shows you'll be seeing. And thank you all once again for tuning into the Health in Show. And we'll see you back again.
Thank you very much for all
Bye-bye.
your efforts.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.